We just gonna go with it. All right, we're gonna. I don't need that right now, so we're just gonna leave that. Hey, okay, so let's get into this reading. I know I haven't done a reading in a while, general reading, but I felt called to, so let's get into it. I got my Kipper deck and my astrology deck. Then I'm going to lead this reading with, and then we'll dig deeper into it with the tarot. We'll get advice from the Wisdom of Oracle, the self-care deck, and the Work Your Light deck. If need be, also I have my crystal deck and the creativity oracle deck. So I got a lot of decks in front of me. My mic was off the whole time. So hi, sorry. My mic was off. This is Lord. Every time, there's always something trying to prevent a message from coming out. So I have a couple decks in front of me. I'm not going to repeat everything I just said. All I mentioned was which deck I'm using and leading with. I'm going to lead with the Kipper deck. This is just a collective reading, so if you feel called to view it, regardless of what your sign is, regardless of what your chart is. Oh, she is so funny. Let's go ahead and get into the reading with the Kipper deck. Let's find out what does the collective need to be aware of at this present moment, or what does the collective need to be able to foresee? What's coming, or what is the collective dealing with at this present moment? What's most relevant for the collective? I guess I'm asking like too many questions at once. What's most relevant for the collective at this present moment? Gift. Somebody could be getting a gift of some sort. You could be getting something that means something, that is valuable, that is significant. It could just be coming from someone very special, but it could be totally unexpected. Ooh, marriage. Somebody could be getting married. You could be getting proposed to. This could be a proposal of a business opportunity as well. You could be getting offered, for example, a bonus for a job. Somebody wants to hire you, but they want to give you like this large bonus to begin with, or there's something of value that comes from some very significant partnership that may last a very long time. There may be contracts involved. There may be an actual marriage or a marriage license. Well, obviously there's a marriage license if there's a marriage, but there could be some type of written agreement that comes from this. Courthouse. Somebody could be going to the courthouse to get married. You could just be tying the knot, getting serious. Somebody could present you with the ring. It could be very simple like that. But let's go ahead and get into it a little deeper with the tarot. Or before I do that, let's find out what keywords or timelines are associated with each card. The gift, again, represents gifts, help, aid, support. So some of you could already be in a significant relationship, or you could be married, or have a business arrangement where someone in that field or in that arrangement or agreement comes to your aid and is truly helpful for you, and it just re-solidifies the union. Or it could just make you realize, okay, I need to marry this person. Says by the next holiday or birthday, somebody could be getting proposed to during their birthday, or it could just be a prediction for Christmas or your time of the year, or even winter. Be open to the support of others. Be receptive to small gestures or proposals. This can also indicate a new job offer, promotion, or helpfulness, like I mentioned. It's a very lucky card. And yeah, so the time frame is about to, it indicates the time frame around the next holiday or birthday. And then the marriage card, again, just represents a solid union that probably has a lot of understanding, kindred spirits. It could be romantic or some type of contractual relationship. Does not have to be romantic, but it could be. such as a business partnership or joint venture. It can also stand for an intimate friendship. More abstractly, it can represent any joining of forces. So you could be coming together with someone else to help each other out. This could be community-wise. There could be neighborhoods, communities, cities, states coming together, everybody else forming a partnership together, making a pact together where they say, we're going to help each other out. No matter what, we're going to help each other out. Some people could be trying to get laws overturned in their states, in their counties, in their cities. This could even happen on a very national scale. Men and women could be coming together. Opposites could be coming together. Different races, different groups of people that don't necessarily belong, that society has tried to divide and split up. They could be coming together for the sake of going to the courthouse and raising hell or bringing attention to things, or just coming together to create community and offer each other help and support where it's needed, so that they don't have to rely on their states. The time frame for this, it stands for relationships, bonds, or friendships, and doesn't have a time frame, right? No time frame. But the courthouse card, it can represent lawsuits, court proceedings, divorces, wills, contracts, taxes, disputes, and all legal matters. For some people, it could be a divorce, since we have the marriage card here, but it's likely coming together because the gift is here. Even if it is a split, I feel like it's an amicable split, and both parties or all parties are coming together and saying, like, this is what's best. This is what's going to be the most beneficial for us. So let's just go ahead and go for it. It's a neutral to unpleasant talking card, talking about courtrooms, tax offices, and negotiations. So there could be negotiations taking place with the court, in a courthouse with the judge. There could be laws involved, things such as everything that has been mentioned. It can represent some type of court dispute and discovering the truth and honesty, the truth and coming to an honest decision. Excuse me. It usually brings about good news. It could also represent mundane tasks, such as renewing driver's licenses, passports, such as I don't know, that part was irrelevant. But let's get deeper into these cards, shall we? I think she just wants some attention. She's just running around like crazy. Show me gift. Thank you. So we got 3 of Pentacles. Yes, definitely people coming together, creating community, creating camaraderie, creating partnerships. I'm going to help you, you help them, and then it's like a rotation of help, apprenticeship. I'm going to teach you something in exchange for you doing this. This could even be bartering, trading, things that I've been preaching and begging people to get on the wave of. But people seem to value money more than they value partnerships. So this can be people seeing the value in partnerships and community and chosen family, right? So you could be creating community within your environment and working together, collaborating with others to help each other where you need it, doing favors for people so that they will do favors for you in return, bartering and trading. Show me marriage. Thank you. 7 of Cups. Somebody could be confused about marriage or a partnership, not really sure what to do. Things could just be up in the air right now. There could be emotions all over the place, especially if this partnership represents not just a man and a woman, or two humans coming together to get married. It could represent 2 opposites, 2 different groups of people being a little bit reluctant about moving forward together because society has trained us to either hate each other or be prejudiced or feel like we understand what that person is going to do before they actually do it, right? So now we're having to sit here and observe all of this confusion or all of these emotions, everything that's stirring up inside, everything that this partnership is stirring up inside. It's a great call for some shadow work. Great judgment here. I love that this came out, because it's about awakening. And you could be awakening to the fact that like we were meant to be. It was meant to be this way the whole time. And the confusion from the outside world just clouded our judgment. And as long as things were cloudy, we couldn't see clearly. Judgment is the energy of Pluto. The Seven of Cups is the energy of Scorpio. The Pluto and Scorpio generation, for sure. I think this is great for us to like come together. This is a great sign for us to come together, working through our traumas, working through our prejudices, doing some reflection before we continue projection, awakening to the fact that the confusion that we've subscribed to was programmed to us. Like we were programmed to think that each other were whatever we think, you know what I mean? And once we allow people an opportunity to prove who they are, they show us like, oh, this was just confusion. This was just mess. This was just all lies and deceit. And my imagination, like my mind playing tricks on me based on the subconscious programming that I had to believe that whatever the situation wasn't meant to be. I was taught to believe that this union wasn't supposed to happen, but here it is. It's happening, and it works better this way. So I think this awakening card also just talks about having understood how we may have played a role in past situations, understanding the past a little bit better. It's about reflection. It's about forgive me. I'm like, there's a word on the tip of my tongue. Clarity, waking up. It's a wake-up call, and it's waking up to how things are supposed to be versus what you were told they were, what they actually are, and the illusion of what you thought you saw when you were projecting your fears or your subconscious programming. And usually our fears are fed to us from some external source, because it's like children aren't afraid of anything until you teach them to be afraid. And usually they're still not afraid until you constantly project their fears, your fears on them, or unless they actually get into a situation where they hurt themselves. And if we don't gas it up and blow it out of proportions, usually they'll just be like, oh, okay, that happened. They won't be like, oh, forever daunted by it, and it won't haunt them for the rest of their lives. Sorry, I'm talking fast and rolling over my words, but this Judgment card is about an awakening, a spiritual awakening, a mental awakening, an epiphany, coming to an understanding of something, seeing the difference between how things are and how things used to be, seeing the difference between the authentic and the inauthentic, seeing the difference between the lies that you were fed and the confusion that you previously saw. It's like when the smoke clears and the dust settles, your angels come in and make sense of things. And you're like, okay, I thought that I saw XYZ. Thank you for confirming that I'm not tripping. And I think that happens when we come together by facing our fears, by becoming friends with that person that society told you to hate. I think that's part of what happens. These awakenings get stronger and more intense and more powerful. Again, Pluto, the planet of power and control, we gain more control as a society, as a partnership to create change. Beautiful. Love it. This card came out prematurely. Show me six of, what did I say? Show me the King of Pentacles came out for this courthouse card, but the Six of Pentacles, was it the Six of Pentacles or Seven of Pentacles? Came out reversed. Six of Pentacles, and that's valid, but I already put it back. Show me the courthouse card, please. Yeah, that was the Six of Pentacles. So we got the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands reverse. Seven of Wands reverse. It's giving somebody having weak boundaries, or not fighting, not putting up their walls, not defending themselves, quitting, pulling back, not wanting to see something through. Not protecting your assets. We have two sevens here, Seven of Wands and Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Wands is very defensive, got your guard up, ready to fight off anything that comes your way. Your guard could be a little bit dropped in this situation when it comes to your assets, your time, your energy, your effort, your money, your energy. So this courthouse situation is like going to the courts. That could be sucking the life out of you. They could get you to drop your guard down, making you think that they're going to compromise with you. And while you do that, your assets are unguarded. Your time, your energy is unguarded. And it could be energetically and not like literally. Um, it could also be that something you've invested in, you could be giving up on it, not fighting for it anymore, not wanting to keep it, not wanting to, like if you had a home and I don't know, like maybe the bank is trying to take it from you and you're just ready to give up. So it could be something like that, but also coming together with community, coming together, collaborating with others, asking for help, asking for favors, or making it known what you need. Your community could come through for you in a way that you never really thought was possible. And all of the lies that you were told starts to become clear and you realize, oh, this partnership isn't fake. It's not it's not out to get me. Like these aren't my enemies. These are actually people coming to help me. When random people and strangers come to your aid, it's like you ever had to start a GoFundMe and you start seeing who actually donates to you. You're like, oh dang, like, oh, you care, you have a heart. Like any of my preconceived notions about you are actually false. It's just my fears being projected. You have this awakening, you have this clarity, you have this truth and this understanding now about a certain partnership or relationship. And maybe you're ready to give up on something that you've invested in. Maybe it's been a while. It could be a partnership that you've been in for a few years or some time now, maybe even just some months, but you've invested your time, your energy, your effort. And maybe when your guard was down, somebody took advantage of that, or you were defenseless and something got taken, or you got drained. But there's something that you're giving up on, you're quitting. And I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I just feel like you're like, no, it's not. My time is up here. It's like you're kind of realizing your worth with this situation. Let's get an astrology oracle card. She is doing the most. Can I get a card for the collective, please, regarding this spread? I definitely think this is going to resonate with Pluto and Scorpio generation. Something about a partnership is being revealed to you, whether it's a personal, romantic partnership, a friendship, or the relationship that you have with an entire group of people. Like if you were always raised to believe that that people from another nationality or group were a certain way, maybe you're realizing that you've just been interacting with the wrong people, and what you think doesn't actually apply to this entire group of people. It's just a prejudice that you've been holding on to, and something about these events allow you to wake up to see that that was all a lie. It allows you clarity. It allows you an awakening. We got Saturn and Mars. Ooh, I think Saturn and Mars are doing a thing lately, a square or something. I could be wrong, but they're very significant right now. I wish I had the accuracy to explain that. But let's read these cards. They are both considered malevolent planets. So fears could be coming up. Saturn is associated with fears, limiting limits, belief. It could be limited beliefs, limited mindsets, restrictions, anything that you've been told that you couldn't do or that you weren't supposed to do. You're realizing maybe that's a lie. Maybe that's just something you've been telling yourself, or somebody else was telling you and programmed you to believe that. And now you're awakened and you're free from those fears once you face them. In your community, your partner, your spouse could be assisting you during this journey and helping you. Ow, girl, that hurt. Just jumped over my foot. I gotta trim them back claws. Damn. You just creating a jungle gym of your own making, huh? Saturn is considered the oppressor in this deck. I don't like it, but I'll roll with it. Restriction, wealth, oppression, work, lessons, resilience, karma, processes, structure, and order are some keywords associated with this card. This means that maybe you're coming to a period of life where you have to face your fears in order to move past them. Otherwise, you're being met with restriction. You're being met with no's. You're being met with dead ends. Your work or whatever you're involved in could feel oppressive until you stand up to the very thing that you're afraid to face. It could just be a test backing you up into a corner so that you have to fight back. Mars, a planet of war. It's like, are you going to allow your fears to bully you, or are you going to fight back? I feel like this is a great collective message. Ooh, it's, I've been saying this in so many words, so it's confirmation. It can feel like 2 steps forward and 1 step back when Saturn is here. If Saturn is showing up, Saturn is also retrograde right now. You're in the midst of a major life test. It can feel like no matter what you do, it just feels like you can't get ahead. This isn't actually the case. You are moving forward, but Saturn just likes to make sure that you are certain of your direction. Saturn makes you move in stride so that you don't. Mars likes to rush into things. And these are two very opposite energies also. This is a very impulsive planet in Mars, and then a very slow and methodical, very slow planet, or representative of slow. I'm not talking about the actual transit that they make, how fast they move in the sky. I don't know that information off the top of my head. But anyway, Saturn is like, no, let's figure this out. Let's work this equation. And Mars is like, oh, I know the answer. You know what I mean? And jumping towards the next task. So you can feel like you're moving forward very slowly, but I think once you get to this point of awakening, you'll be glad that you were able to pace yourself through this situation, because then you'll notice all the mistakes that you made, and you realize how many more mistakes you would have made had you just sped through these lessons or these experiences without having time to process. Venus, get out of there. Having time to process or reflect on everything that's taken place. Saturn also says, are you making responsible choices? Are you utilizing your tools to the best of your ability? Make sure you are clear about these things, because you will have a final exam, and Saturn is all about responsibility, your ability to respond in the most mature, integrity-filled way. I don't know the word for what I'm trying to say. Anyway, with the most integrity, how can you respond in the best way for the long-term benefit, not just for right now, what's going to satisfy your ego or your lower self, what's just gonna, like, I don't know, like what's gonna solve the problem in the now. But Saturn is like, let's fix it for good. So with courthouse being here, there could be some situations where you are taking it up with your city, your state, your local government, the national government, the world government. Something, if we all come together, maybe this is unusual people, like other parts of the world coming together, different cultures coming together. Think beyond just what's on this card, a male and a female, or two humans, non-binary, doesn't matter what your gender is. Just beyond two humans coming together, two opposite people, entities, groups of people coming together to set themselves free, because it's awakening is freedom. It's also freedom of the mind, not being restricted in your mind, in the way you think, in the way you see things, allowing yourself to see in full spectrum, allowing your intuition and your feelings to guide you, but also healing those understanding the difference between the vibes and your anxiety, understanding the difference between your intuition and your anxiety. And when it's your fears talking, trying to keep you restricted or keep you stuck or keep you moving slower than you actually need to. And when it's actually, time for you to be a little bit methodical and smart about your decisions. So yeah, it's testing your responsibility, your ability to respond, to see if you're going to choose the same thing that you've been choosing all this time, to see if you're going to get different results. Because the definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So if you keep running from your fears, and you keep running dead into your fears, or your fears keep catching up to you, maybe it's time for you to turn around and face your fears and fight. Let's look at Mars. The leader, Mars is associated with aggression, divine masculine, bravery, force, energy, temper, and assertion. With the 7 of Wands card, this is fire energy. It's like your guard is down. You don't want to fight back, and you're planning for too long. You're thinking, you're planning, you're investing your time and energy and effort, but you're doing it very, very slowly. And maybe you don't have time for that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe this is just time for you to be a little bit more impulsive. Maybe it's time for you to balance these two energies instead of taking forever and being impulsive and reactive. Maybe it's time for you to find balance between your Mars and your Saturn energy. and being methodical and very meticulous about which fears you choose to fight and at what point you try to fight them, understanding which battles you can actually take on by yourself and which battles you need to recruit family, friends, loved ones, community to help support you, and being able to ask for help because the help is here. We have, this is the first part of the spread, the gift card, favors, gifts, aid, help coming maybe unexpectedly from community, from collaborative efforts, from people you've teamed up with to help each other out. Maybe you decided you were going to mentor someone and this person comes through for you, or maybe you are trading services or bartering with someone, and when you're in need, this person or these people can actually come through for you in a very significant way that creates lasting change. Again, we have Saturn, lasting change. We got the Seven of Cups, judgment. Something's changing. There's an awakening taking place in the collective. And if we are able to come together, we can definitely collectively fight the very thing that has installed these fears and programmed these fears into us, that has taught us and trained us to hate each other. If we come together, we'll see how much of a myth that is. We'll awaken from the lies that is, and then we'll be able to create lasting bonds and partnerships that resemble something like a marriage. We'll be able to create partnerships that are unbreakable. That we'll be able to create kindred partnerships. We'll be able to intuitively connect. We'll be able to share our stories and connect in the heart space. A lot of internal healing has to happen before that can take place. Mars can mean that you need to be more confident in the situation. I think this is coming up to remind us how much power that we have and how much more power we have together. Chakricons, that's cute. I'm not gone. I'm just giving the messages, and these messages are right on point. We know that being overly pushy and combative is damaging, but being a spectator in your own life is just bad. So you can't sit back and allow your fears to wreak havoc. At some point, only God knows the future. Well, how about that? Because I'm a goddess. Well, how about that? You just ran into a goddess. It's your lucky day. God is working through me. How blessed are you to be here? Mars can also mean that we are suffering from tunnel vision. A lot of fears can allow you to only see a very limited, restricted, limited view. And with your guard down, you can be focused or hyper focused on this one thing and spending too much time in this one place, like watching a seed grow. You know what I'm saying? Like when you could be out planting more seeds. This Mars card also says that put on a brave face. Even if inside you are terrified, strength comes in many different forms. Absolutely. And I think once you have the power to stand up for your fears internally, you'll be able to activate something in the people around you, and they'll be able to do that as well. They'll be able to mimic that behavior, and then you can come together, and your power together is absolutely more powerful. So it says also Mars can mean we are suffocating from tunnel vision, putting all your focus into one thing that isn't healthy. Whether it's a romantic partnership, your career, a hobby, letting your other commitments fall by the wayside damages them in the long run. So again, we're trying to create lasting change. We're trying to make things be steady in the long term. So your ability to respond in a much more mature way, your ability to develop that foresight and not let your fears or your limiting beliefs to keep you restricted will help create that lasting change. So when you solve a problem, you don't have to come back in a few months and solve it again. You do, like when you have a dispute or a disagreement in a partnership, when you have proper problem solving skills, you're able to solve the problem for once and for all. Okay, we know how we got here, so now we can prevent from getting to this place again because we know what steps we took to get there. So now we can just avoid taking that path. And if you trip up or you make a mistake, okay, cool, life is a learning experience. But it's about not repeating the same mistakes and pretending to be shocked that when you did the same thing, you got the same results as you did last time. You know what I mean? It's learning how to be an active player in your life. You are the player one. You can't just fall back and let life happen and then complain about what happens while you're not actively participating in your own life. So it's about being an active participator in your life, realizing how much power you have, realizing when it's time for you to take action, and being very responsible with the way you choose to take action. Really thinking about and pondering on intuitively as well, connecting with spirit, allowing the higher powers to guide you. Which is really the best way to move in this situation? How should I truly act? Like, how can I prevent from repeating the same steps? How can I do it once and for all? How can I be like a one and done? That's what this is about. And acting with the power and the confidence of Mars in a very Saturnian way. That's power, because these are very two opposite energies. So it's like getting your shadow and your light side to work together, getting your higher and lower chakras to balance and coming together. It also says you need to push physically. If you need to push physically, if you need a push to physically start something, the red planet can give you a boost of energy, but be sure to actually follow through with what you begin. Absolutely. I think once you start facing your fears, the Mars in you, wherever Mars is in your chart, is likely going to awaken and get excited and help you. This is probably going to resonate with a lot of Scorpios, because we got a lot of Scorpio energy out here, water energy. We got a fire energy as well. And since Scorpios ruled by Pluto and Mars, and we got both planets represented coming out, that's what it is. All right, let's get a work your light card, because we all have a light inside of us and we all are working together, whether we know it or not. We're supposed to be anyway. Get a work your light oracle card. Can I get a collective card, please? A card for the collective. I might just need to pull one. I don't want multiple cards. Just one, please. Just one. All right, perfect. Thank you. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution expression. So this card looks like. Come out of the cave. So somebody could be in hiding. Like I said previously, maybe some of your fears have backed you into a corner where now you're just surrounded. Like there's just you in this corner that you're in. And maybe now it's time for you to come out and fight back. Exercise some action, take some action, do something. Share your voice. Let's find this card. And I think sharing your voice is likely just to allow you to see how much in common you have with other people. As you share your voice and your experience, you'll find that people who you thought you were completely different from or opposite of actually have the same experiences as you and can completely resonate and relate to a lot of what you've gone through. And then you'll find special bonds that get created from somebody you were trained to believe or taught to believe or programmed to believe was your enemy. Come out of the cave, persecution expression. You are being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed, sculpted for lifetimes. The voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you have kept your soul's voice silenced or held back, chanting or singing could be truly life-changing for you. As we shed the layers of our personality and start letting out our unique soul speak through us, we discover to be shared. Wait. What the hell? I skipped the whole line. As we shed layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak to us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. There has never been a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice. If you feel fearful, know that you are not alone and that the world needs your unique tone in order to harmonize. As we each rise up and share our song, we make it easier for the next person to do the same. Express yourself, share your voice, speak to those who can hear you. That essentially says something that I had previously said in this reading about, like, once you tap into the ability to face your fears and to speak up and to say that's not true to that voice in your head. If you haven't seen the movie Violet, go watch that movie, because there's a part in there. It's on Amazon Prime. There's a part in there where she has a voice in her head, a negative voice in her head, that as the movie goes on, it seems to be that voice comes from her brother or her mother, because they were both abusive, and they tend to gaslight her and her upbringing. So now she has this voice in the back of her mind that keeps validating all of her fears, or trying to get her to validate all of her fears, right? And so the whole movie is her against herself. And she's trying to push this voice out of her head with her conscious mind, but it's too strong because it's in her subconscious mind. So there's a part where she starts to question the voice. She starts getting tired of it. She's like, I want to change. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to listen to this voice in my head that's like hypercritical of everything that I do, keeps me stuck, keeps me restricted, keeps me in fear, keeps me from responding to the best of my ability, just has me in this corner, backed into this corner, into this cave, not using my voice, not expressing myself, not sharing with the world who I truly am. I have my guard down, and that allows people to take advantage of me because I'm so focused on this one thing. I'm distracted, and here they come. They can take advantage of me. So, right, there's a part where she starts to question that voice, and she starts to get her power back because she realizes that voice is a liar. You're lying to me. You've been lying to me the whole time. So then she kind of starts doing the opposite of what the voice is telling her to do. So that's kind of what shadow work is like, but sharing your voice is very necessary. Maybe some of you have gotten so afraid of speaking up because when you try to speak up to the people who are sent here to love you and to take care of you and to guide you, like your parents, your loved ones, your aunts, your uncles, your godparents, something like that, they told you to be quiet. They gaslit you. They told you that what you were saying didn't make any sense. They lied to you, or you had a gift and they said you can't do that. They projected their fears onto you instead of reflecting on the fact that I can't do this, but you probably can. Let's try it. So now you've gotten backed into this corner, right? And you're not abusing your voice to the best of your ability or at all. I know this definitely applies to me. I used to sing and I used to write all the time. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm trying to get back into that, but it's difficult because there's a lot of trauma. So now there's a lot of fears that need to be faced. Whatever the world told you that you couldn't do, the moment you decide I can do it and you stand up to that voice in your head, people around you are going to start to feel that, whether you talk about it and express that to them or not. They'll start to feel it energetically, and they'll start to respond to their own inner voice. And as long as when you start to elevate and evolve and start exemplifying the best version of yourself, expressing yourself as the best version of yourself to other people, all of a sudden, either the people in your life will rise and start to meet you on that level, or they'll phase out and you'll find other people who can meet you at that level, meet you on that frequency, and validate that, yes, you can do this. This is possible. You can use positive reinforcement. Instead of validating your fears, you can reinforce your bravery. You can reinforce your courage and your strength and your power, so that you find out the inner voice in your life is a liar. Is a liar. Saturn will set you up just to see what you will do. Think of the movie Saw. That's Chronos energy, Saturn energy. You weren't living your life right, and you were running from your fears. So now you've gotten into a much darker, horrible situation than you could have ever imagined. And now I'm about to test you to see what you're going to do. Are you going to face your fears now, or are you going to? It's a very dramatic and version, but it still is the same energy. It's going to put you in this situation, back you into a corner where now you have to fight for your life. You have to face your fears. You have to. Otherwise, you perish, or you rot in this cave for the rest of your life. So at some point, you have to stand up and fight your fears against Saturn and Mars energy. Let's get a self-care card. One more shuffle. Let's get a self-care card for the collective, please. Thank you. Drink tea. very, listen, drinking tea is so simple. There's a culture, I think they drink tea after every meal. It's super healthy. There's lots of herbs, minerals, supplements, and there's lots of supplements and minerals in herbs. We heal from the inside out. Our body is designed to be self-healing. So if it's also calming, it's great for the spirit, it's good for the body. Drinking tea on a regular basis can create waves of change and significant healing. It can be great for your kidneys, for your liver, which are responsible for eliminating waste and toxins from your body. So if you've had trouble doing that, if you've had lymphatic issues, that can be super helpful for you. There's a mantra associated with this card. I'm inspired by the wisdom of the plants and the beauty of ceremony. Again, this can be a ceremonious or a ritualistic type of practice. Drinking tea, like I said, some cultures drink tea after every meal. You can drink it daily. There was a point I was drinking it morning and night, and then it started getting real hot here. So I have to start making iced tea, but I haven't been drinking tea. The preservation, preparation, and presentation and drinking of tea is an ancient ceremony, one that has a lot to teach us about the reverence and care we can show our guests and ourselves in simple moments. Make a setting where you enjoy your drink peaceful and beautiful. Take your time and venture out of your usual preferences and try a new cafe or tea shop where you can experience some different types of tea. Sorry, I'm reading too fast. Make an adventure out of visiting a local tea house and learn more about the history and traditions of tea ceremonies. Finding which teas works for you, doing detox teas, just because teas, that could be really, really great. And I think, for ways that I can't explain, I think this is such a small thing to introduce into your life, but that could be largely impactful for a long term. There's a journal prompt. How do you feel when you drink tea or another beverage with intention, taking the time to enjoy it without distractions and focusing on all the flavors and feelings that arise? So there's a journal prompt for you based on the Self-Care Oracle deck. I do want to get a Wisdom of the Oracle card because these are usually really, really on point. And then maybe I'll end with the Crystal Oracle card. This reading is already like 40 minutes long. All right. Let's get a card for the collective. Oh, that's too many. Can I get a card of advice or guidance for the collective? Hello. You'll be able to catch the replay on YouTube and Instagram if I can get it to upload, but YouTube for sure. Treasure Island. Treasure Island is the card. Very beautiful card. Treasure Island. Let's split my screen so that I can read from the description. Number 9. Let's see. All right. This card is associated with the law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition. The results of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing from appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. I think that, this reading started off with a gift. So there could be some good fortune coming to you from some collaborative efforts, some favor you've done, some I would say charity, but this card doesn't represent charity, but maybe you've done a favor for someone. Maybe you helped teach someone something. Maybe you were very impactful in someone's life in a very intangible way. Maybe it was a tangible way. And they want to bless you with something. But anyway, you've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance. Then suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tap the unlimited potential within you. What you hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Again, we had the Seven of Cups, confusion, smoke and mirrors, seduction, the powers that be trying to get you to go left when you really need to go right, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So maybe this is a lot of trial and error, and a lot of awakenings, and a lot of judgment. A lot of honesty with self-reflection instead of projection is allowing clarity for you to see, like, oh, I've been duped. Now I know the difference between where X marks the spot and where it doesn't. And when the X is just barely there, I can intuitively feel it. It's learning to trust yourself. I got a podcast episode on trusting yourself coming up also. So be on the lookout for that, probably next month. Anyway. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. It also could be like, this could be interpreted as you dropping your guard down and not being so defensive and allowing other people to help you so that you can focus on the growth of an investment that you've already been involved in. So maybe you're accepting assistance from other people so that what you're focusing on, or what you've invested your time, energy, effort, money into, can grow. Okay, let's continue. I need to blow this up. I can barely. Where's the Zoom? There we go. Okay. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. And I think that is part of what the collective is starting to understand. Being selfish is out. Keeping things for yourself is out, because there's going to be a time where you don't have it and you need someone else to help you out. So somebody's realizing, I'm going to share with you while I have it. And then when you have it, you can share with me. And it's creating community, it's creating bonds, it's creating partnerships that last a lifetime. Relationship message. Your relationship is a treasure, providing even more than you need. But you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourselves and each other. Now is a time of discovery. It's as if everything is in sync and everything is new again. Romance blooms and love is in the air. You can be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. I'm going to read both of these last two messages and grab some crystal cards, and then that'll be the end of this reading. Prosperity message. At this time, you can be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you are in a true manifestation period when you see the evidence of the seeds of prosperity you planted in the past. And I think that's what you're starting to see, that something has allowed you to drop your guard so you're not so defensive, and then all of a sudden you're able to see the sprouts of what you've invested, the seeds you planted some time ago. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as inspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. I love this. Protection message. Poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough cast a shadow on your path. So this is also something that's being healed within the collective, individually and in tune with the people around us. So don't be looking for other people like, oh, are you healing? Are you doing it? Just focus on you, because you can only control you. That's all you have power over. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. Do you really want to proclaim yourself a victim of disappointment and failed expectations? Are you avoiding success because you will grow so tall that others will want to cut you down? That's a lot of the time people aren't afraid of failure. They're afraid of success. You're afraid of being so big and so massive that you can't relate to the people around you, because not everybody is willing to put in that effort. Not everybody is willing to respond that way. Not everybody is willing to face their fears. But like I said, if you are around people who are not willing to go there, the universe will replace them with people who are willing. Or is it possible that you're caught in a fear that you will Saturn again? Is it possible that you are, caught in a fear that you will lose what you have acquired, so you hold on so tight that you miss opportunities to expand? I think that's what the interpretation of this was previously, like focusing on so much that you've allowed your guard to drop, and you've allowed other things to take place because you've been too focused on this one thing. It's like you've been trying to watch this plant grow, and because of that, you haven't invested into any of your other responsibilities, because you've been trying to make this one thing happen instead of utilizing your time and your efforts more efficiently, more effectively, more smart. You are challenged to change the way you see the world and move from perceptions of limitations to perceptions of abundance. This is that Saturn energy again. That perception of limits is something that you're being backed into a corner until you do something about. And Saturn's retrograde right now, so it's very introspective. We should be definitely figuring out what our fears are so that we can learn to work through them. You're challenged to change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitations to a perception of abundance. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except your confinement in a prison of your own making. Open the door and find the abundance waiting for you to claim it. So yeah, don't stay stuck in this cave. Don't stay, in this daunting place watching everybody else live around you, and allow your fears to cripple you and keep you stuck and restricted. This Saturn doesn't want you to stay there, but Saturn will test you and make it comfortable for you. It's a trickster. It's a trickster. It'll tell you, yeah, it's comfortable here, but really it's trying to test you to see how far it can push you before you fight back. Before this Mars energy is awakened in you and you realize, I have to take some initiative. I can't stay here. This ain't it. Let's get some crystal cards for you. Maybe I'll pull a creativity card too, because those cards are easy. I'm like, I didn't want this reading to be that long, but it's long. It's long. It's okay. Can I get some crystals for the collective, please? Ooh, sunstone. Okay, I like it. Lapis lazuli. And can I get one more crystal for the collective? That was a lot. We got malachite, orange calcite, and amethyst, but I'm putting those back. I'll just take these two. Sunstone. Sunstone, very pretty. Sunstone emanates the feel-good vibe of warmth and radiance. The stone's red and orange sparkling light effect, aka spangling or adventurescence, is the result of copper inclusions reflecting light from within. Who needs this, fellas? Looking to operate on a higher plane, the vitamin D deprived, all solar powered human beings who do in fact harvest life force by turning up the brightness of their smartphones. Definitely melanated folks. Where to put it? Anywhere you're looking for a boost of stamina. First thought, the gym. Sure, bro. Great for the lower chakras, creativity, artists. When to use it? When it's time to get busy, or when your disposition needs a little sunnying up. Take back your shine. So if your fears have gotten the best of you and have allowed you, if you've allowed your fears to back you into this daunting, dark, scary cave, take your shine back. Take your power back. Take some initiative. You are in control here. And your fears only win if you let them. You're not a victim. You're a volunteer. All right, lapis lazuli, a deep blue stone with deep history. Who needs it? Cat people, Leos, anyone who uses the phrase in a past life, I'm totally convinced I was a ellipsis. Where to put it? as a survival armor that lets the world know when I walk into the room, it's customary for y'all to bend at the knee. When to use it when your thoughts are not your friends. Call on lapis lazuli to help you get out of whatever your mind has gotten you into. Ascend your rightful throne. Listen, when you got to clap back at that voice inside your mind that's validating your fears, like, oh yeah, you can't do that. Or they're going to talk to you. Like they're going to think you're stupid. Go watch that movie Violet, because that's what that voice sounds like. We all have that voice. Most of us have that voice. A lot of us don't think it's any different from who we are, but it's your fears. It's your fears talking to you. And there's a time coming where you have to clap back. You have to realize, hold up, I'm that bitch. What are you talking about? You're a liar. I'm royalty. God made me in his image, in her image. Whatever you want to subscribe to. I was made in God's image. I'm a reflection of God. The divine light works through me. The divine light is shown and is shines through me undeniably for all to see. That was the affirmation that I thought of when I started this reading. Now it makes perfect sense. The divine light shines through me for all to see undeniably. You're taking your power back. You're not being a bitch to your fears anymore. You're like, you know what? You're a liar. You've been telling me that I couldn't do something or that I needed to stay in this place. You've been making me feel like this place of restriction is actually my home, and it's not. You've been making me feel like this dark, scary cave where I am by myself, alone, not able to receive the love and compassion and warmth and gifts from others, collaboration and family and community from others, making me feel like these people were my enemies when the whole time, they were willing to help me because they have a similar story to me. We've all been through the same shit. So you're learning how to take your power back. And instead of walking in the room with your head down, you're walking with your head down. You got a little bounce in your step because you're aware of your power and you're aware of your confidence and you're aware of your ability. Once you fight your fears back, once you overcome your fears, you're like, oh, I can do that. I'm capable of that. That's what's in me. On the other side of this fear, there's all this power. Okay, let me see if I can do it again. You start to get confident. You start to get a little cocky. And that's why it's important to have a balance in these energies. Understanding when you need to take a couple steps back and plan a little bit, but understanding also when you need to be confident and courageous and just face it. Understanding when you need to ask for help when you're not the strongest person to tackle this, but you also need to be involved. Like, hey, asking your community, people who you share things with, people who you work together with. Can you help me with this favor? And I'll help you when it's time. Bartering, trading, being there for people, creating lasting relationships, partnerships, strong partnerships that have the bond and the commitment of a marriage, whether it's a marriage or not, whether it's romantic or not. These could be platonic relationships. These could be business relationships, but it's changing the way in which we interact with each other. Instead of these partnerships being one-sided, they're more collaborative. They're more reciprocal. They're more balanced. And that's because that's what you're dictating in your life. That's what you are choosing to operate in the frequency of. It's like, if it's not reciprocal, I don't want it. Let's get a creativity oracle card to close this reading. I have these soul cards too. I keep pulling out extra decks. Oh, I'll read one from this card too. Oh, I'll read one from this deck too. This I just felt I would read. It's not an oracle deck, but I thought it'd be a great one for reflection as well as for maybe a journal prompt. Even though I've already read one with the self-care card, you'll be able to see the replay of this reading on YouTube as well as Instagram. If it'll allow me to upload this long ass reading, I'm gonna have to do it in 2 parts or something. Okay. Gonna get a final card from the Creativity Oracle deck for the collective. This deck is super thick. Oh shit. Risk. Love it. Something previously mentioned, taking a risk or to take a risk. And collaboration was one of the cards that came out. Collaboration. How about that? Working together with other people. Each of these cards has a different artwork on the back. Risk. Be aware that I'm going to read it. I just want to show you risk. Risk came out. Be aware, or you will have to beware. Do not deny the risks and hazards that you see. So it's like not gassing those fears up and not saying that something is a risk or a pitfall when it truly isn't. You know what I mean? Like, because we can have false beliefs about what we should be afraid of based on programming. So dismantling the programming so that your ego can work more efficiently. This is about ego healing. This is about understanding when that voice in your head is a liar, when it's just loud and audacious because you allow it to be and you haven't stood up to it yet. So understanding when it's a healthy risk and when it's not, when it's a foolish risk, or when it's a like understanding the difference between intuition and impulsivity. Understanding when you're taking a chance that's good for you to challenge you, but also understanding when you don't need to take a challenge because it's actually dangerous. That's why I said it's important to have a balance between, because if you get too courageous, if you start standing up to your fears and you feel like you are invincible and you can face every damn thing, you're going to stand up to the wrong thing that you're not prepared to take on yet because you didn't have the responsibility of Saturn. So too much of this will keep you fearful, restricted, stuck in that dark corner. And too much of this will have you in a situation that you can't control of. Too much Saturn will have you in an overwhelming state of fear. Too much Mars will keep you too courageous and arrogant and have you standing up to giants that you're not prepared to fight. Just that's just my example. Collaboration. Creative people can be inspired by sharing and stimulating creativity in others. That's what this Three of Pentacles is all about. You never know. You could join an art club, a class where you're able to just share your gifts, your skills. Maybe you're teaching an art class. Maybe you're teaching something artistically to someone else. And you never know. Like, this environment could save your life. It could awaken your soul in a way that just really changes the trajectory of your life in the most positive way to catapult you into the best possible timeline that you could ever be on. So collaborating with others, building that community as much as possible, even if it's just through creativity and art, the things that you love or are most passionate about can truly be impactful for your life in a very positive way. Finally, I'm just going to pull a soul card as a journal prompt or for something for you to ponder on, think about. Hey, baby, you bored? Y'all should see her jump when I shuffle. She's like, every time she's like, now she's like, okay, I get it. Can I get one card? Let's actually just do this. So, oh wait, this is one of those cards. So, when was the last time you were truly afraid? Oh, this card is so on point. I knew it was going to do this. This is not an oracle deck, but I knew it was going to be on point with the message, right? When was the last time you were truly afraid? When is the last time that you were very, very afraid? Like deep in your bones, deep in your soul, not like, oh, I think I'm supposed to be afraid. I'm going to choose to be afraid because I think I'm supposed to be. When were you last time you were truly, truly afraid? Put into a situation that you didn't think you were going to get out of. What did you do? That's not on the card, but what did you do? That would be great to journal because it allows you to remember a time when you stood up to your fears, when you faced a fear and you came out okay. Because a lot of us think that if we face our fears, they're going to defeat us. And really, we're the victors. We can be victorious and we can face our fears and win. So that's the reading. I know it was long. Hopefully you guys catch the playback. Again, it's going to be on YouTube for the people watching on TikTok. It'll also be on Instagram if I can manage to upload that. Otherwise, it'll just be on YouTube. But thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope that it was helpful. I know it's been a while since I've done readings. Again, your crystals were lapis lazuli and sunstone. Try to pick those up if you can. That will definitely help you get back into your creativity and claim your power, understand your power, your uniqueness. But yeah, tap into who you are and start to face your fears. And when you get to something that you can't face alone, ask for help. There's always help whenever you need it. If you don't have specific people to ask in your life, make it known to the universe. Ask your guides, right? Ask your higher self to help lead you, guide you, and direct you towards the people who are able to help you You will be venting to a stranger, and that person will be the perfect person to help you. So you have to trust your intuition to help lead you and guide you through the confusion, into a breakthrough, into an awakening, into understanding, into clarity, into seeing who you are compared to who they told you you were, into seeing who you are compared to who they told you you were. And use this affirmation: the divine light shines through me for all to see undeniably. So there's no question about it. Thank you for letting me read and watching this reading. If you want to send me donations, I will happily accept. My Cash App is Vanity Bar, but you can also reach me or send on PayPal. There's a link. Oh, this is a very pretty card. Intuition. Allow the limitless power of your unconscious mind to answer your problem by using symbols, memories, and hunches. 5-5. I'll leave you with that. And I only pulled this card because the artwork stood out for me and I've never pulled it before. Beautiful, beautiful card. Great message. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this message is helpful to you. Until next time, peace, love, and light.